Hey guys, Brian here with a brand new video. I'm pretty stoked. I got my streaming setup finally put together over the last couple days. And so I know I had mentioned I'm going to be pumping out videos. So I'm excited to start doing that now that I have a setup that's worthy of starting on. So without further ado, I'm going to break down this video. I was on duty this last weekend. I saw a couple other YouTube videos. Some streamers that I follow were talking about the statue that got erected here in Manhattan. And it was basically this satanic tribute statue to a Supreme Court justice that was very much in favor of abortion and binary, non-binary, alphabet soup, abortion rights. So without further ado, I'm going to jump into this article that I found here. So this article comes from CBN News. New York elevates horn statue paying homage to RBG and abortion. Critics say it looks satanic. A recent edition of the unusual 8-foot statue atop New York State Courthouse in New York City is causing a stir with some questioning as to exactly what the representation of the statue is. The statue was erected on top of this courthouse in downtown Manhattan. And it's kind of crazy. Like when you look at this thing, you're like, what is this, right? And it's supposed to look like this lady right here. Like what is this thing, right? So this is a Supreme Court justice that died in 2020. She died of pancreatic cancer. And they're erecting this golden demonic looking statue with horns and tentacles and all that fun stuff, right? And then as we, break it down even more, it's this golden statue with a lotus flower here on the bottom. I don't know what else that could be. Like what is this thing, right? So Ruth Bader Ginsburg was a Supreme Court justice. Basically, long story short, she throughout her life fought for abortion rights for women. And towards the end, she had some breakthroughs. She fought against Texas. Texas had wanted to install safety and health codes to abortion clinics, basically saying, if you guys are doing abortions, that we need you to do it safely so that you're not killing the mothers. And she was completely against it. She said basically that women's right to abortion trumps safety, any safety measure. So she fought Texas on that one. And then right before she died, she was really being a giant advocate for non-binary and transgender men and women. And as you guys know, I'm not a big streamer and I could care less, about backlash. So I'll outright call this stuff out as I see it. I don't have a problem with it. And I'm not really afraid of the backlash, So this was, like I said, this was a statue. A lot of people were very confused by it. Even people not of the faith, not Christian, people are really questioning, what is this thing, right? So as it goes on, I was very curious as to what these horns here are. And I did a little bit of research over the weekend, and as I was doing my research, I saw the Grammys pop up. And the Grammys, I never got to see it live, but I got to see some of the video footage afterward. And it was obviously satanic, like a very, very satanic. We had a transgender man, a non-binary man singing in devil costumes, getting eaten. There was people in cages, very like BDSM, demonic, homage to Satan. And I encourage you to check it out if you don't believe me, but it is very obviously satanic. And one thing that caught my eye after I saw this statue was Madonna. She had facial reconstructive surgery and completely changed her face, but she showed up in this hairstyle that I was like, wow, I've seen that before, right? This was Madonna at the Grammys. This spiral horn hairstyle actually has some meaning behind it, it turns out, once I Googled it. It actually stems from what is called the horns of consecration. And what that is is it comes from this Manoah cult, which is a like bull cult. And from like the Old Testament and on, we see that that is related to Baal, which is an archdemon in the kingdom of Satan, that we saw the Israelites bow down to. We saw countless, groups of people, mainly the Israelites, turning to Baal and worshiping him in the Old Testament. And it's making a comeback. Like we're seeing different things emerge around the world. We're seeing these statues pop up. There was somewhere over in the EU, they had a games where a bull was erected. And anyway, that's definitely for some other video, but I'll kind of stick with the horns of consecration. That actually comes from like I said, the Manoah cult, and the horns are an animal's weapon. So it follows that as a symbol that they function as a representing strength and aggressiveness. That's interesting, right? So it represents strength and aggressiveness. So as we're looking at this, right, who's rocking this stuff? It's people in power. It's people who are openly demonic, people who are in your face, blaspheming God. They're all rocking like this hairstyle. They're making statues with this hairstyle, and it's obviously correlated to what I thought was the Baphomet, right? Which is straight out of, cultic Satanism. We see it everywhere. It's very, very symbolic of Satan. And these horns of consecration, it turns out, the horns of consecration were the most important symbol in the Minoan cult and were likely related to the cult of the bull, like we talked earlier, or Baal. But like we said, the people that are rocking this are people in power, people who have sold their souls, people who have lots of money and power on this earth, right? So I find it very interesting that those people are now rocking this hairstyle and openly blaspheming. It's interesting. It's interesting stuff. I encourage you to use your discernment. I'm sure you'll probably see what I'm seeing. Even people without the faith and without the Spirit, to discern for them, are questioning this thing. And I've talked to a lot of people that are like, wow, that's satanic, or that's demonic. And we saw it on this news article here, right? Like just the title of this, critics say it looks satanic. That's because it is. It's 100% because it is. And I'll break it down even further for you. So I talked earlier, this thing is standing on a lotus flower, right? Here, over here on the right-hand side. We'll bring it up. So it's standing on a lotus flower, and simply Googling the meaning of a lotus flower, its symbology is strength, resilience, and rebirth. So to me, the rebirth thing, right? We live in a nation where God doesn't exist anymore. We've kicked God out of the United States, right? We've kicked him out of schools. We've kicked him out of courtrooms. We've kicked him out of churches. We're running down the rabbit hole of demonic doctrines, the religion of self, which these are all topics that I'm going to plan on making videos on. But we have basically kicked God out, right? And we know that Jesus said that a house can't remain empty. It simply can't. And if we kick God out of our house, what's going to come in? It's going to be these spirits. And there is nothing you can do about it. Like the only thing that keeps them at bay is the Spirit of God. So I think it's only going to get darker as we go into 2023. They obviously started it off real strong between the Satanic Grammy performance and then erecting a giant statue of who knows what, of a female Baphomet, basically on this courthouse in a high place, like in the Bible, where it says that we've battled not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and wickedness in high places. And where did they put this statue? They put it in the highest place above the courthouse. So use your discernment, figure this stuff out. It's pretty simple to explain. They're going to call you crazy. People that don't have faith are going to call you crazy. Simple as that. We see it because God allows us to see it, right? So God bless you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm going to plan on making more videos like this, where I'm just going to break down things that are going on in the world because we know the times we're in. It's that kind of season. I'm stoked to actually be online and being able to talk to my brothers and sisters in the faith. And God bless you. May the Lord bless you. And I will talk to you very, very soon. All right. Bye.